So you want to learn how I made the beat you just heard and possibly make one similar for yourself? Awesome. Quick disclaimer though, this is an extremely bare bones beat. There isn't a whole lot to it, but there is a lot of room to expand upon it. Anyway, the first thing you're going to want to do is figure out a bass sound. Don't overcomplicate it. I'm just using a basic saw wave with a little overdrive on it. Nothing more, nothing less. Next, we're going to come up with a basic pattern to lay the bass in. Keep it simple, keep it dark. Now we're going to add in an eerie sounding synth that'll be layered over the bass. I raised it quite a few octaves above the bass. To get the eerie sound we're going for, just use saw waves. Turn the voicing up to 3 and turn the pitch cutoff on. Then use an LFO on the pitch cutoff slider. It should sound something like this at this point. Next, go into the LFO and select the sync button. I went with 1/1. This is personal preference. Then turn the crossfader all the way up. Just for a little extra flair, I decided to add the same LFO to the pitch to slightly detune it a little bit more. I also turned on another saw wave and detuned it with the same LFO but in the opposite direction. For the first effect, I added a chorus. It sounds fine right off the bat, but feel free to play around with it for a result you like. The second effect is just a simple reverb, nothing fancy. After that, this is what we have. Oh, and I decided to give both the bass and synth a slight attack, like so. Next, I'm going to add another synth over the top that sort of holds the beat. Here's the pattern I came up with for it, which I honestly think I subconsciously stole the Who Dat Boy synth line, or at least something very similar. But that's okay, since this is, in fact, a Tyler the Creator beat tutorial. Anyway, give this synth an attack as well if you use the attack on the other two synths. I used a dimension expander for the first effect, and then in the second effect slot, I used a reverb. To top this sound off, I cut some of the lows out so that I could fit it on top of the beat a little better. Altogether, this is what it sounds like so far. Next, find some drum samples that you like. I went ahead and went with a lo-fi kit that I had. I used the preset drums and the fruity compressor for the snare and the kick, and I also added a slight reverb on the snare to give it a bit more of a tell. Now find some hats, cymbals, or any other percussion you might want to use. I wouldn't overcomplicate it though, this is a simple beat. I cloned the beat 4 times and changed the last one up ever so slightly so that it didn't end up too repetitive. This is what I came up with. All of the massive patches I made in this video will be provided for download on Patreon. But that's it for this video. I hope you take something away from it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'm Cozy Robinson.
Yeah.